There will be factual mistakes in my James Grider books, because I'm not omniscient. I can't look up every last factual detail about subjects I have no experience with and get everything absolutely correct. Nevertheless, people should still buy my James Grider books in order to support me so I don't have to work. I will give examples of professionally published novels where authors and editors have overlooked tremendous mistakes and were still forgiven for those mistakes and got paid anyway. Let's take a look at Vulcan's Forge. Further, the writer keeps the action moving because when, at any time, it starts to get dull, he throws in some unbelievable history that Mercer did that shows how capable he is to get through the situation upon him. Example: I am Mercer. My best friend saved my life once, and now I owe him. Now his daughter is in trouble that I have no idea with, but I will save her, get my car shot up in the process, kill a dozen unknown enemies, jump from a train into a river, and escaped. Meanwhile, the President of the United States is okay with what I did because I was trained for 4 weeks by the CIA in Iraq, and the group I was with got all shot up, so I rescued them, and now I know how to engage the enemy and all combat tactics. Oh, by the way, I have a photograph memory, and I am just a geologist. I look at rocks all day, and I'm smarter than the CIA, FBI, and every other agency out there. They can't figure it out, but I can, and I'm not going to tell you. P.S. I did all this in the first few chapters of the book. Crap, crap, crap. This book is pure crap. If you want a story that is so out of this world, with a hero who isn't a hero but is, go for it. But I warned you. Haha. So this character is completely contrived to be this flawless hero who can pull any skill that he needs in any situation out of his ass. And well, so what? How else is he going to do his Superman stuff? Dubrul's much-touted research surely wasn't displayed in any of the 378 pages that I read. His knowledge of FBI or SEAL tactics is non-existent. Okay, I don't know if the reviewer can be trusted, but if the reviewer can be trusted, it goes to show the writer's knowledge of the FBI and SEAL tactics is non-existent. Okay, well, I can read a few documentary books on Navy SEALs and their training and stuff, and I can scrape something together. But who knows if my knowledge will prove any better afterward. But if a James Grider story calls for the presence of Navy SEALs, who knows if I will show accurate knowledge of their tactics either. The author did not have an experienced firearms guy check out the manuscript. Well, neither did I. That'll never happen for me, because I'm nothing, and the world will make sure I stay nothing. If he had done so, it would not have so many mistakes about the weapons, such as the outdated 9mm pistol and crazy mercury-filled bullets that are supposed to disable a bad guy with one shot, regardless of where it hits. Not possible. I wonder if the pistol is outdated because the book is written in 1998, but the sliding time scale moves it into somewhere around 2010, 2011. And yeah, I don't think mercury poisoning would instantaneously disable you. Also, his explanation of how a character was whisked from a ship onto a raft was not plausible. Oh, and here is a doozy. I, however, cannot suspend historical timelines. One of the most in-shape, young, and fearsome villains is a product of a rape of a Korean comfort girl by a Japanese soldier. That would make this young man no less than 65 if we assume the storyline take place in the early 2000s. Yes, during World War II, or maybe before that, a Korean prostitute was raped by a Japanese soldier, and that's how one of the villains was born in the 1940s, and now he is a muscular, in-shape young man who is 30 years old in the year 1998. Or maybe it's 2011 because of the sliding time scale. Haha. Oh well. I don't think anyone's going back and fixing a mistake like that. Imagine if I did that in a James Grider novel. I might. I'm often very harebrained. Now let's examine the bullshit in the novel The Forgotten. The really, really big guy jumps off an oil rig in Caribbean, swims for hours, is rescued by some fishermen, randomly dropped off exactly where he wanted to go before he was kidnapped by the bad guys, and days later is able to direct Puller right back to that oil rig. Have you ever been out of the sight of land? I don't think that Baldacci has. I don't think I have either, but that's okay, who cares? As a retired CID special agent, this book is pure fantasy. What is sad is there are huge numbers of CID stories that could be told that are real and could be great suspense novels. Uh-oh, a retired CID agent thinks this book is bullshit. Goes to show they probably didn't consult a real CID agent before writing this. And neither would I. Where the fuck would I get a CID agent to help with my research? In a hurricane, our hero guns a 20-foot center console boat at 40 miles per hour toward an oil rig in the Gulf. He jumps off and lands on the floating dock, then his accomplice ties off the boat. What? You can't tie off a boat in 3-foot seas. How in the world does it work in 10-foot seas? And he had an in-out gunshot wound in his side. And he was going to fight 25 armed human smugglers. And one of the 4 people with him was given a gun filled with blanks. Always carry blanks? Because he knew she was secretly a bad guy. Yeah, haha. Why would anyone in law enforcement carry blank rounds on them at all times? Only because it serves some purpose in the plot? Would I write something so stupid in a James Grider novel without thinking because it serves the plot? I don't know. Who knows? I would try not to, but you never know. I'm not a person who gets out into the world to experience things firsthand. It looks like I need to make this into a series of videos because I wanted to make a single 10-minute video where I bring up dozens of books as examples, but it doesn't look like I'll have the time. People need to buy my self-published James Grider ebooks when I put them out, and spend as much money on them as people have spent on the books that I mentioned here. And these were professionally published books that had editors, and Jewish-dominated publishing houses put them out. I'm thinking people might find shit in my James Grider books to point out that will be just as ridiculous as the examples I presented here. The primary premise of this book is that a finance guy that made and lost $1 billion as a hedge fund manager has gone into the slavery business, importing hijacked people into America to sell. The idea that a man could build a huge business off slavery in this country, capturing and importing several hundred humans a week, is just too much disbelief to suspend, even for a minute. He builds this business by ensuring that every slave believes that if they don't quietly toe the line, their family back home will be attacked and killed. Once there are hundreds of slaves spread out in innumerable directions, who is going to keep track of that? However, the villain has access to an unlimited supply of security people that are without scruple, moral, or redeeming virtue. But it's just a job for them. Do you suppose he recruits them off Craigslist? Research is completely missing. The most glaring example is when he refers to Bulgaria as being part of the former Soviet Union. For you younger readers who missed out on all the fun of the Cold War, Bulgaria was a separate nation beginning in 671 CE that was a member of the Warsaw Pact after World War II, an enemy of the West and NATO. Today, it is a member of NATO and the European Community. See, the Bulgaria thing could have easily been looked up on fucking Wikipedia. Also, in reality, sex slaves from Eastern Europe are sent to Israel to pleasure the Jews, because that's where Goyim slavery is legal. Women from places like Ukraine get sent to Israel, usually with a promise of work, but then they get turned into sex slaves. I like the reply that says, "The irony, supreme irony, is that he thanks 50 people by name for helping him with this piece of trash. They should sue him for defamation." I don't have 50 people helping me write a James Grider book, not even one person. How did the protagonist go from being an army ranger to a CID special agent? At what point did he commit himself to at least 2 years of military police service with the CIC, which is a requirement for CID qualifications? Not to mention whether or not such a killing machine with so much combat experience suffers from PTSD, which would disqualify him through a psych eval. Or has he become a sociopath from all the experience in killing people in ways most could not imagine, which would also disqualify him? See, I don't know that fucking stuff either. So I could end up writing something like that, and someone might end up asking the same question.
Map. I urinated into the water. I urinated into the water while swimming in it on this Battlefield 3 map. I want to get my penis vibrated by a robot M-A-M-A-X Austria. Who here wants to get their vaginas vibrated by a robot M-A-X Austria?
Quiet.
I am very much a
I don't understand. You're a fucking capitalist, brother. Actually, you don't care. You don't care. Don't you get that? Quiet. You get your shit, man. Shut up. Quiet, man.
I am Who wants to read the following books? The Fakir, the Shitumb, the Hitaj, Reporn, Repenisul, Shite, Who wishes they should accomplish sustained I want penis erection. Several black pepperoni.
Shut up.
Spaghetti-o. Made out of foreskin penis cheese.
Like that? What's the cheese?
I want bestiality sex
Shut the fuck up. Please, shut your mouth, okay?
I just did an about Jared as I realized all this effort is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Never listen to all the funny things I'm going to be saying. Alright, gentlemen, why are we killing each other? We're supposed to run around and hug each other. This fucker turned penis-shaped tail and ran I need to make beautiful semen paintings of Call of Duty maps by dipping my brush into different colored Oh, how they shut him shoot! How they think they're gonna do one thing and they do another! Let's get this rated Let's get this raped started. Let's get this raped started. Blood to kill. Duty has jumped the bestiality rated Charlotte where they introduced an exosuit. Psycho bitches.
Your mother's dead.
Bitches made it, so I have no choice but to have sex with is a demon with a body of a woman sprouted out of a spine. So, he wants to stick them into the spider sex organ or spider while wandering her human James Wright should put a guardian race around his skin.
Shut up.
People should buy impact on James Wright. You will be a bag of flesh at the mercy of my punishment.
Whatever.
My penis will punish your asshole. My penis will punish your I have sacrificed so much for this battlefield team. I now have sex with an imp, while the imp moans while on this crescent moon. Who wants to get that gang raped by imps? I wish there was a way to invent a sub-trio dildo that allows you to remotely rape anyone, anywhere, unless they are evil one. Sub-trio dildo, sub-trio Whenever I am playing war images of Battlefield 1, and tells that our religion has delivered the enemy's does the message explain how they were cheating to make it impossible for them to beat us? Your ass should be vice versa. I want to draw curly front views all over your penis with a Sharpie. I want to receive a blowjob from
I'm gonna break your neck.
A Galvanade
That's your
is
body.
just this demonic head made out of ivory. And I want that head to fly.